Hello, hello, hello. Here I am under the Philo logo. My name's Amber Greenlee. This is an improv drawing show. If you haven't tuned in before, chat basically tells us what to draw, and if chat's not here, we kind of figure it up on our own. I have my co-host and better half here. This is Robin Fisher. Let me put you in the big window.
Hey.
This is Robin Fisher.
Wow. Head so big.
Well, yeah, that's because it's only the two of us right now. We do have Chuck Whelon joining us in just a minute, but he was having just a second to get in the room, so I'm going to start. But before I do that, let me show you guys where we're kind of at. Oh, big head, says Magic Marmot. So just kind of showing you where we're at in the story. Philo tripped over his pants the episode before last, and then we cut to a commercial. Has this happened to you? And Sunday for the Suspender and Kilt Emporium. There's Chuck. Hi, Chuck.
Headphones.
Yes. So we have the Suspender and Kilt Emporium, and then Armand ends up loving on the bagpipes from the commercial.
I plugged them in though. Hang on.
We're now back to our regular scheduled comic, and then we come back to the treasure room.
Was that?
Yeah. Kay says hi.
Can I hear you?
Hi, Kay. Wherever you are. Oh, there you are. Hi, Kay.
Yes. I need your screen, Chuck.
I'm going to run away for a second because my very special drink that I brought to show you, check it out. It's a Canada Dry Black Cherry Ginger Ale.
Sorry. Ooh. Canada Dry. I can see that. Can you hear me?
Black cherry.
Yes, we can hear you, Chuck.
I don't know if black cherry's ginger ale. Like to me, black cherry usually tastes like cough syrup.
Yeah, some people have that. I know a lot of people who feel that way, but I don't. I love cherries. I think the ginger ale would be great because I've had the peach one and it's excellent. Sorry, Chuck?
Let me check.
Or are you just still talking to yourself?
He's getting set up, so it's going to take a second. I almost forgot. We also have Cat Cam.
Cam. So yeah, I got to run away because I got to go back and get my other can opener because I grabbed the wrong one. Okay. There's one that has a can that'll open it because it's got an old school beer tab thing.
Yeah.
So I need the beer. It's so annoying. So I'll be like 1 minute.
Okay. Yeah, no worries. Yes, right. Let us do this. And then, yes. So where are we then?
Oh, I know what I probably have to do.
Armand just had sex and he's very sated.
Yes. Let's see. Oh no, that's an old one. Dale. No. Here I am. Okay. Of course. I'll figure it out eventually. What happens next? So I lost Robin. And I lost Chuck. It's just me. Oh no. It's just me and the cat. What do you think, Archimedes? What should happen in the comic now that we're back? Robin has Boingy Cabin. I think Cabin has Boingy Cabin. Yes. Hi.
Bloody hell! All right.
Yes.
Okay.
I imagine that I probably stole you away from dinner.
No, it's all right. I'm having dinner made for me now, and I'm just gonna eat.
So I just have to point out to the audience that Chuck filled in at the last second, and I appreciate that. And
thank you
for having me.
Yes, and so thank you very much, Chuck, for allowing me to torture you with challenging art. We need to get out of the vault. Oh, Marmot says we need to get out of the vault. So that's what needs to happen. How are we getting out of the vault? Are they taking the loot with them, or are they just making a break for it? Like, what's going on?
It's not very cherry, I have to report.
Okay.
It kind of tastes like fruit punch.
Yeah, so then it's more like grenadine cherry. Because I like grenadine cherry, sweet, but you know, some cherry is that cough syrup cherry, and yeah, I'm not a fan of that. So okay, if we're gonna
peach,
get out of the
I have
vault,
to say the peach was much better. All right, let's move on. Sorry.
so I'm
All right.
thinking just like run away.
But they're in their kilts and suspenders now. Remember?
Yeah, they're in their
Oh, dear.
kilts and suspenders, but are they like? Is there gonna be like I don't know? Are they taking gold with them? Like what happens?
Oh, for sure.
In Chuck's panel.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure, taking gold with them. They were in that room for how long? That would be really dumb if they didn't.
Yeah. Okay. So they're taking gold with them, and
So they'll all have. They have to have sporins, which are those little furry pocket purse things that they wear in the front of the kilt.
okay. And Chuck, I need you to
Yes.
share your screen.
Yeah.
Okay,
okay,
we already did that.
Yeah, I'm coming with it. I'm just opening the PSD up here.
Yeah. Let's see.
With
Flatulence becomes a
getting-
superpower.
Naming
Didn't we
it.
do that already? Where we had the porta potties
Farted a huge blast.
flying?
Sporin. Let's see. Meow is dealing with the bagpipes. The rest of the crew exit holding up their trousers, but only what they can
Oh, no.
fit in their pockets and pouches.
What happened to their kilts and suspenders?
Well, I imagine they would still be wearing kilts and suspenders, but they would. I
Pants
I
underneath?
think they would make like a bundle with
Like a
the-
hobo bundle?
Yeah, like a hobo bundle. You know, of as much gold as they can carry. Right. So yeah. So
Oh,
we're gonna
that's
have Meow in the foreground. I think. Like just kind of you know, he's not even gonna notice them leaving. He's just what's that? Yeah, I'll have him making
Alright.
a yucky face.
But please remind me, because I have a terrible memory. Didn't we do the flatulence thing where we had porta potties flying in the sky because of fart power?
The Willendorfs were powered by poop.
Oh, it was
And-
poop power. Sorry,
Yes,
my
it was poop
mistake.
power. Yeah, it was poop
Okay.
power.
Okay.
And-
Well, I suppose we could do flatulence power now.
Yeah.
They
So
escape
what-
via flatulence power.
Okay. I think I froze.
You froze?
No. Okay. You can hear me still. All right. You can't
I can
see
still
me.
hear you. Yeah.
Can you still see me? I look like I'm frozen.
You're a real boy, Chuck. You're a real boy.
Okay. I'm only frozen for me then. All right. Okay. I'll
yeah.
share my
No,
screen.
no, you're frozen on our end too. Like your
Okay, that's what I
video is
thought.
frozen.
Oh yeah, it is. I thought he was just drawing.
No.
Let me do a reload here. Oh, wait,
Okay.
actually, yeah, that usually works.
Do you need to get out and then come back into the room?
Oh, he's already gone.
Oh, well, that kills that.
Maybe the magic marmot says maybe the Wu-Tang bees come back and carry them.
Yeah, maybe the bees come back.
Because
and
they got
carry
all
them.
that gold. I bet the bees want the gold because, you know, the Wu-Tang Clan have an excellent, fabulous song called Cream, which stands for Cash Rules Everything Around Me. Cream, get the money. Dollar bills, y'all.
All right, awesome. Let's see. Let's do this.
So, yeah, I think they use the gold to get the bees to come back and fly them out of there.
Okay, so they call the bees back? Or the bees just return?
What now?
So we had a Wu-Tang Clan album destroyed in a previous comic, and it released Killer Bees. I have my daughter behind me, and Daddy just came in. But it released Killer Bees that then flew off with a bunch of Armand's records. So if the Killer Bees come back to let them out, their motivation is the gold?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's see. Actually, I should probably make the round door.
So they can buy more honey.
So what's the brief? I got to draw a killer bee. How
Yeah,
big is a
yeah.
killer bee?
The killer bees come back for the gold. That's
For the
your
gold?
caption.
The caption
Yeah.
is the killer bees come back for the gold.
Yes, and your panel is panel 2. So please number it.
Okay, and I'm introducing the killer bees again, am I?
Yes, you are.
I'm reintroducing, so I can reinterpret them in my own way.
Exactly.
Yes.
The only thing I think you need to worry about for continuity's sake is setting. And so the vault is like Scrooge McDuck's vault, full of gold. That's it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
we're back in the money bin.
We're still in the money bin. We have not left the money bin
We haven't left the
aside
money
from
bin.
doing a commercial.
Okay, last time I was here, everyone was taking their clothes off in the money bin and shaking their booty.
Yes,
Yep.
yes, and then Dale had us do a kilt and suspender commercial.
Okay.
And then
And then Armand the octopus had sex with the bagpipes.
Oh yeah, he was DJ last
had
time I
sex
was
with
here.
bagpipes.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, so I'm doing like sync lines for that reason. Annabelle, it's okay.
Okay. Hello, Annabelle.
Yeah, let me turn off the cat for a second. We don't need to see the cat. This way we can
Oh,
see.
but the toe beans were so adorable.
Yes, I realize that, but cat is less important than.
Okay, my Mac is being really silly lately. It's gone all slow. Have I got too many apps open?
Okay, so we're gonna have them tiptoeing out, like, and I think I'll give them a small pile of gold, but now they have kilts on, something like that.
That's why you have to do the sporins.
Yeah, and so they'll like stuff that with gold.
Wait, who has to do? I have to do the killer bees wearing kilts and sporins?
No. That's our crew is wearing that. Your bees can do whatever.
Yeah. So the killer bees. You know what might be funny is if the killer bees have like a little Uber sign. And that's why they're back. Is it's not just for the gold.
I think it'd be even funnier if one had an Uber sign and another one had like a Lyft sign and another one had like a different ride share thing, and it was like all because they're just like equal opportunity bees. They take advantage of all the scams.
Magic Marmot says sexy bagpipes. So
bees playing bagpipes.
No, the bagpipe. It was not sentient. Armand made up his love affair practically in his head.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that
it was all about humping that one.
Some people think haggises look like bagpipes.
I guess stomachs are like bagpipes.
Haggis,
bagpipes.
Well,
they wander around the Highlands of Scotland.
Magic Marmot also says warm spore and Jethro Tull.
That's a good word. Conglomerate of words. Warm, spore, and say that 20 times fast.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But if you like that, you should check out Struggle Nifty. They're like they're kind of drum and bass band, but with bagpipes. They're really good.
I've heard of them.
They're so great.
Yeah, there's not enough bagpipes in the world. I quite like them. They should be in more music. Like, you know what I mean? More mainstream music. Drum and bags. Pretty funny, Magic Marmot. Drum and bags.
What's that one song that starts out with a baggy? It's like a modern song.
Let's see here. That would be,
Is it like Jump?
Oh, yeah. Jump by...
What's the name of the band?
Jump by Van Halen?
No, not by Van Halen.
No. Well, who's that band that does that? That's not Van Halen. Who's that?
Go ahead and jump.
Go ahead. That one, that's what you're talking
about. Might as well jump.
Yeah.
No, don't play it, Ian. I'm recording.
Yeah, wait. Yeah, you'll get
Please stop.
Copyright violation.
No, by House of Pain. Jump by House of Pain.
Jump around.
Pain, all right.
Yeah,
I thought that was Jump Around.
Yeah, that song.
Oh, yeah, Jump Around. That's something different. Yeah.
Is a bagpipe.
Oh, okay. Get up, and get down. Jump around, jump around, jump.
Yes, that one.
Yeah, that's good. Oh yeah, look, my Photoshop's. I'm
There's also the great Criss Cross song, "Lost to the Annals of Time." Maybe you recall it.
Oh, I remember.
Criss Cross will make you jump. The Daddy Mac will make you jump. The Mac Daddy will make you jump.
Well, while you're singing, I'm gonna go away. I'm gonna restart my computer and come back because it's been playing. It's been a bit silly, and I just restarted it. All right. I'll be right
no
back.
worries.
All right. Okay.
No worries.
Mal has a really good stank face, Amber.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm trying to do a good stank face. We are. Let me bring back Cat Cam. Kind of bounce
Those cats, that face that they make when they smell something bad, there's nothing like it. It's so like, it's like a total cartoon face, but in real life.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting because I've had cats for so long that when I watch old episodes of like Tom and Jerry and stuff, I see things that they drew Tom doing that I'm like, oh yeah, my cats do that. Yeah.
Well, it's universal. Did you know, I might have said this before, so please remind me if I have, because I hate repeating myself. That Hergé was a lover of cats more than dogs, even though Snowy, his terrier, and Tintin is all throughout. He loved cats more, and when you go to the Hergé Museum in Belgium, he's got like 3 or 4 sketchbooks under a glass case, which are just all watercolor paintings and drawings of cats.
That's cool. I know that David Mack went on like a cat drawing binge, where he was just drawing his like cat every day.
I never saw that, but I'm sure.
Yeah, he did watercolor, or not watercolor, but it's this very simple ink, ink style,
the Japanese style, where it's just like
exactly.
One
and he did
line
a series
sort of stuff.
that was like almost exclusively his black cat. Yeah.
So Magic Marmot wants us to know that he's back in Minneapolis this week.
Back in Minneapolis! Yay!
I don't know what that means. What's Minneapolis like? That's actually one American city I've never been in. Although there's quite a few. I should be fair.
I used to live there for several years when I went to college, and it's a cool place. I met Magic Marmot there in like the flesh and stuff. And
so is Magic Marmot visiting his family, would you say? Do you think?
No,
that's why
he has a house in Minneapolis, but he inherited a house from his mom when she passed up in Bemidji. And so I think I'm saying that right, Bemidji. And so, so he's been going between the two places. Yeah.
That's pretty cool to have the freedom to be able to live in 2 different places like that.
Yeah.
The town that I live in is so small and parochial, it bugs me a lot. I really miss living in a city, a big, big city.
I live just outside of Bemidji. Okay. So it's Bemidji, not Bemidji. But yeah, I live just outside of Denver, and what I like about Denver is, like, for example, Ian just put down chicken curry next to me is the food. I like
big
it.
Cities have better food.
Yeah, that's one thing that it's hard to get rid of when you move to a small town, is you have to hope there's a really good restaurant there that you won't get tired of.
Well, or at least 4. Come on. 1. That would be miserable if there was only 1 I liked. My thing is just the different cultures. I mean, I guess I don't want to say I was spoiled, but living in China, I definitely ate a different kind of Chinese food that I'm getting here now. Because you probably have the same thing where everything's like a big Chinese Canadian amalgamation, and like the stuff I was eating was countryside, authentic, hardcore Szechuan Chinese food, and I've only been able to find anything close to it in in Toronto. So it's depressing that you have to go all that way. Today I just made a ghetto butter chicken, but it's probably better for me because it has none of the Indian spices that ravage my body. But all I did was already buy pre-cooked chicken, and then the butter chicken sauce, and pre-made naan was on sale at 50% off, so heated it all up, and it's been delicious.
Magic Marmot says, it's a lot. Family lives upstairs in mom's old space. Lots of remodeling, tons of work, 5 people and 8 dogs total. In case
8 dogs!
Yeah.
8 dogs.
Lots of dogs.
That must be fun, though, in its own way. So many silly things happening at the same time. Dogs.
Well, I know that there's like a river up in that area, too. Oh, it sounds like Chuck is back. There's Chuck. Hi.
Hello. Hi. Oh my god. Sorry.
It's chaos. No kidding. It's chaos.
Yeah, is your computer working now?
Yeah, it's much happier now. It had a big sort of burp to do.
Okay.
I hadn't restarted.
Marvin says he actually lives on the river.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, let's add your screen. Let us remove cat cam because I don't think we need that right now. And then we'll do this. Wait, where'd your screen go? You got rid of your screen.
Wait, no, it's here. Because I did it that way.
Yep, you got rid of your screen.
Well, I just changed the format.
I mean, I'm still working on the first panel, so it's gonna take me a while. So
okay, because I went full screen like that. Okay, wait. Okay, maybe I don't want to do that then.
Did I ever tell you that when I think I did tell you this, that when I saw Labyrinth, I didn't actually see Labyrinth first when I was a kid. I saw the making of Labyrinth before I saw the actual movie.
No, you didn't. You never said that.
Which way? Down. He goes down. Yeah, no, it was really crazy. I was like 12, and my mom rented it for me on VHS for my birthday. And we were in Germany at the time, so it was at the the military base.
Yeah,
that she rented it.
So she thought it was like the movie.
The actual movie, yeah.
It ended up being the making of.
Which spoiled the whole movie, but at the same time, like, it really encouraged my love of Jim Henson. Like, I had so much respect for him to begin with. I loved the Muppets and Sesame Street as a kid. And now, like, to see Labyrinth, it was just like, wow. So impressive to see how much work went into it.
Well, yeah, I mean, Gates McFadden, Dr. Crusher on Star Trek Next Generation did the choreography for that movie.
I had no idea.
Yeah. And so
the dance routine with Bowie and Jennifer.
That's Gates McFadden's work. Yeah,
I have to find it, but it was so funny. One of my coworkers that I used to work with at the Currency Exchange last year, she's a hardcore cosplayer and she's really good. And what she does is she does mashups. Like, she did a Scarlet Witch from like the Elizabethan era, and it's authentic and gorgeous. Or she'll mash up, like she did like a Rococo Catwoman, just stuff like that. It like she does really, really beautiful, intricate work. And I was teasing her, and I was like, I was cosplaying back when I was a teenager in 1994, because there's a photo of me and my whole family, and my mom wanted us to be all dressed up and serious, right? And I totally have like the Jennifer Connelly long brown hair. I've got the big white sleeve pirate shirt, and then I have this long tapestry sort of vest thing. It's not white like hers was. It's more like it's maroon and stuff because I couldn't find a white one. But yeah, it really makes me happy to know that I was such a nerd back then.
It's interesting because I wonder if in the time of like Shakespeare, if people dressed up as their favorite characters. Well,
they had like All Souls Night or All Hallows Eve, or like it was some kind of holiday back then. I'm assuming they probably dressed up, but I would imagine maybe as monsters.
Yeah,
like their version of monsters. I don't know.
Like,
I'm not a historian.
There was like, they would burn, like when Caesar got to Britain, he was very upset because they were so savage. They were like putting all the criminals inside the Wicker Man and setting fire to the man, doing this sort of mass burning of the criminals as a sort of mass sacrifice. And Caesar was like, "Oh, this is the most terrible thing."
But that was
like the sort
of crucifixion's much better, Caesar.
Yeah.
Like feeding people that are a different religion than you to the lions is much better.
Yeah.
Well, that's how I was taught it in school. Anyway, that's how we were taught it. Like.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you are on the land that it occurred, so technically you are the authority.
Well.
We over here in the colonies were just slaughtering the First Nations, We had our own savages to deal with.
Everywhere, but yes, I mean that was.
Now, were we slaughtering the savages, or were we the savages?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So yeah, I'm giving Meow his robe back. So he had a
His
wardrobe
chairman
change.
robe.
Yeah, his like chairman robe. And then I need to put like stink lines over it, I think.
Our crew is leaving so casually. Like they're kind of like slinking off like a bunch of teenagers leaving the high school.
Well, I mean, I could do tiptoe, tiptoe, tiptoe. You know?
I think you should, because right now it just looks like they're shuffling off like it's no big deal.
Okay. I'll do that. I'll go tiptoe, tiptoe.
So my advice to you, Chuck, is maybe add like maybe a couple of hip hop accoutrements because they're supposed to be part of the Wu-Tang Clan.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, now I'm getting danger of getting stereotyping.
No, you just have to put like a beanie or what else? A big poofy jacket. I don't know. Well, we had them come out in a swarm in the letter W when they first showed up, and that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
But I'm just trying to think of how else can you delineate them as part of the Wu-Tang Clan.
Okay. So
I would just put like headphones on one of them.
Headphones, yeah. See, that's a good idea. But what is Method Man? Method Man's a hardcore pothead, so I think it'd be okay if you gave one a joint.
Yeah.
And like he's not shy about it. It's not a stereotype. It's what he's into. So
yeah. Let's see. So
but I'm also
done
making
with
him a
panel
killer.
one.
So, I mean, it was more that he's like.
no, but Killer Bees is accurate too because the Wu-Tang symbol is Killer Bees.
Okay.
So
Okay.
So you're not wrong. It's okay.
So Chuck, you're drawing
Wait, where's
the
that
Killer Bees
bee?
come
What's
back
that
for
look
the
like?
gold. Are they surprising our crew? Like, how are you drawing this? What's going on in your panel?
I was
They're
going
swooping in from
I was
above?
going to draw a bunch of killer bees.
Sounds good.
Just kind of shown up.
Yeah.
And maybe in Amber's panel, you have our crew asking for a ride. Maybe they're like, "Hey, get us out of here."
Get us out of here. Well, do they know that the Killer Bees are there for the gold?
No, they don't, but they have the gold. So all they have to do is like, "We'll pay you copious amounts of gold if you let us out of here. Help us out of here."
Killer bee's going to say, "Give me the gold, or I'm going to kill you."
Yeah, but then the story doesn't go anywhere. See, Magic Marmot agrees with me. Trade the gold for a ride to escape. I agree. That's what I was trying to say.
Maybe the Killer Bees say, your money or your life.
Yeah, but then what happens if they say no? Like you're writing yourself into a corner if you do that.
I don't know. Well, I don't
is
understand the story.
Okay.
Your money or your life, and they're like, "Okay, fine, kill us," or "Here's the money." Like, and then they get no ride, and they're still stuck there.
Okay. So
how many of these killer bees are there?
Ride.
How many of these killer bees are there?
As many as you want, or as little as you want. At least just do one more, because bee is plural.
Swarm of them. That's what I'm trying to say. Is it swarm of them?
Well, that's the joke, right? The Wu-Tang Clan has like 9 members.
Okay, so there are 9 bees. So I'm doing the entire Wu-Tang Clan of bees.
You don't have to. There's no pressure.
No, but
you can do 4. It's not the end of the world.
It's a lot of pressure.
You can do 2.
You can do up to 9.
Okay, yeah,
okay.
I could indicate up to 9 bees, all right? But I shouldn't do like 900.
Yes, but if you draw 4 or 5 bees, we get the idea.
What if I do 10 bees?
Nobody's gonna call you to task.
Yeah.
Dale is not here. Gosh. He's not gonna yell at you.
Yeah, Dale's not here. He gave me a thumbs up and everything.
What if they get their friends and now there's 20 bees?
Yeah, this curry.
Then you as the artist are screwed because you only drew 4 fucking bees.
No, because I'm just gonna draw them as dots. Like that's the thing about bees. You just do that.
Dots in the distance, perfect.
They're like further away bees.
Well, then you have to draw at least like a
the suggestion of bees.
Yeah, like one of them has to have wings.
But yeah, well, yeah, this one's wings.
Okay. I have curry in me. I'm good.
All right. So how these bees get? Where are they arriving from? How are they getting into the money bin? Isn't the money bin?
They're magic bluechain bees.
They flew out of a skylight that's in the money bin that I drew.
And initially they flew out of a CD, so like,
yeah, they can.
There's no rhyme or reason.
Yeah. All right. So they're coming in through the skylight.
Aston Martin says, "I feel like Robin got a new phone."
No, I'm wiggly because I've got my phone attached to this like super awesome thing that's attached to my side table. But every time I touch it, it goes crazy.
How do you know it's really you and not an AI? That could
because
be a sign that you're an AI. That you know.
Do AIs eat all their food in front of everyone? We're creating what's the word? A low-core mukbang video while you guys do your thing.
Will Smith was eating spaghetti in not one but multiple AI videos.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, exactly.
And it looks very freaky. It's as bad as it sounds.
Are you gonna do that thing where anything I say, you're like, "That's what an AI would say"?
No.
Exactly.
That's what an AI would say.
Pretty sure you're an AI at this point. I'm gonna be an AI. I already got myself put on a CD-ROM years ago.
Would a Canadian AI drink a Canadian soda pop?
Maybe.
Yeah. That's exactly what it would do. That's so stereotypical. Like no real Canadian person.
Stereotypical AI right there.
Aston Martin says, "Love the bees. Will Smith AI spaghetti slaps."
Okay, well, so the bees are
arriving. Aston, it's not just Canada Dry, it's Black Cherry Canada Dry.
Thank you for the nice comments about the bees. But wait, are you doing the human centipede? It looks like they're
no
connected, yeah.
No, it's just sketching. You know, I can change it.
Oh, it's like, and it's moving like it's animation. Looks like it's human.
She's figuring it out. She's pacing herself. Well, get off her back. There's no pressure in the show.
Centipede. It's not really as disgusting if it's a bee centipede, is it?
No. See, now it's not centipede.
The centipede.
That's not Alaska with extra steps.
The bee.
No, but there's also a one called Clearly Canadian that's very wet.
Yeah. Magic Marmot says that implies that there is a Canada wet. And so I have to say that I appreciate that pun.
Well, in terms of climate, Canada is pretty wet, isn't it, generally speaking?
I would say actually Canada wet would be BC because it is actually classified as a real rainforest.
Yeah, same thing with Seattle too, but it's the same region.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Also, it's a drink, so it's wet and it's dry. That's confusing.
It's crisp. That's what they mean by the dry.
I know, but it's the drink.
The ginger is crisp. You should know that. Although, you know, when I was in London for the first time as an adult, I was always ordering a gin and ginger ale. People used to give me the weirdest looks. I thought it was like a British drink.
Yeah, I call a Moscow Mule. I call that here. That's what.
Oh, really? A gin and ginger ale is a Moscow? Because I thought a Moscow Mule had milk in it somewhere.
No, it depends on the meal. The meal actually determines what vessel it's served in. That, like copper, it affects the flavor of the drink. So you can have a variety of mules, but it has to be served in that like tin.
Interesting.
Well, when I make it, it was just some ginger and some ginger beer and vodka.
You know what we haven't shown in
lime,
a while?
A little bit of lime.
You know what we haven't shown in a while? The fact that Bluto and Philo are a couple. So
yeah, that's true.
I'm gonna have them cuddled
we
together.
We need to queer bait.
I'm glad Bluto finally figured it out and stopped harassing Popeye all the time.
Well,
yeah,
I mean,
if he just really loved another man, that was the problem. He didn't admit to his feeling.
Olive Oil she would go for Bluto. The trouble is, she would always go for Bluto. Sometimes, you know, she would lead Bluto on quite often.
Here's my question: who's Sweet Pea's father?
Yeah, he was.
I always got the impression that it was Popeye, Because they both kind of look the same.
Yeah.
They're bald.
It must be Popeye. Like one of Popeye's girlfriends left the baby on the doorstep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Olive had a tryst with someone else, but I don't think he's Bluto. He's too tiny.
I think you'd notice if Olive Oil was pregnant. You know.
Well, no. Why? How come it couldn't have happened before the comic started? Why? How come the pregnancy couldn't be before it started? Like, for example, what's her face? Lynn Johnston. She did a couple comics about being pregnant, but for better or for worse, essentially started when the kids are already born. Except for one. April was born during the comic. A tryst.
BC before Canada. A tryst sounds so fancy.
And BC is beautiful. I'll tell you another story about BC that's funny. So, I grew up in the military, so my family, we moved around a lot. And every time we'd go anywhere, like we lived in Germany, we lived in Winnipeg, whatever, my dad would always be like, BC is God's country, because that's where he grew up. He grew up in British Columbia. And he's like, oh, it's God's country. It's so beautiful. There's the mountains and the ocean and the trees. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's God's country. And we'd be like, yeah, whatever, Dad. We heard it all the time. Yeah, whatever, all the time. And then we actually moved out there because he got his last posting out there because he wanted to be close to his parents before they passed away. And I was like, my dad was so right. I miss BC so much. I lived there for 11 years, and then I decided to see the rest of the world. I lived in Montreal, I lived in China, but I cannot afford to live there now.
Ready for climate change up in BC? Lay down the groundwork for.
Yeah, it's.
But that would be if you were a good mother. That's what you do.
Well, the big problem now is all the fires.
Yeah, Aston Martin says you definitely have a BC vibe. Magic Marmot says Olive was Wimpy's side action. She fed him burgers. And then Magic Marmot
Wimpy's
says
side action. No kidding.
Magic Marmot says Vancouver is expensive.
It is. I don't. Half my friends don't live there anymore. I know a guy who writes for Marvel now, and he moved to Nanaimo, and now he's out in Halifax because they were finally able to buy a house out there. Like, it's just the guy that I opened the comic book store with, my ex-boyfriend, he ended up moving out to Port Coquitlam. Like, everybody moved to the far suburbs because that's all they could really afford if they didn't buy before. Basically, it was the Olympics, I want to say, is what really threw things over the top.
All right, but now you have to go, like, somewhere like Detroit or somewhere.
Yeah. Well, no, in Canada, it's way worse. Because, like, I live in St. Catharines, and I'm not good with numbers, so I can't tell you what the population is. But it's not... To me, it is not a big city. The transit is my gauge of what a good city is, and this transit here is terrible. Everybody drives cars. It's just a small town kind of city, but it's not really. It's just.
Wait.
It's expansive. They've taken a lot of small towns and put them together and called it a city. Now,
what's it called?
St. Catharines. I've totally lost my train of thought.
Los Angeles is kind of that way.
Yeah, so St. Catharines, what's been happening is Toronto, like, if you want to go live in Toronto, you're paying outrageous prices. Like, for rent, for example, for a one-bedroom, it can be anywhere from, 1,200 to 2,400 Canadian a month for, just a one-bedroom in Toronto. And now those kind of prices are here in St. Catharines. And it's crazy because St. Catharines doesn't warrant it.
You're a crossover from Toronto there, I see.
Yeah. And St. Catharines doesn't warrant it. Like, it really doesn't. But it's because, I guess, so many people are moving from Toronto to here. People are jacking up their places, their rent.
But you're just over the border. You're really close to Niagara Falls.
Yeah, I'm very close to Niagara Falls. But there's Niagara Falls, Canada, and Niagara Falls, United States.
Yeah. You have to go.
Yeah, but I am very close.
To go to the other side.
Yeah, Magic Marmot says San Francisco prices. Kay says, and Aston Martin says, I think it's 600,000 population metro and lower tier or 400,000. For
I'm terrible with numbers. So as far as populations go.
If you got in a barrel in St. Catharines in the lake, and then you went down like Niagara Falls.
You'd go up into Niagara Falls,
You go over Niagara Falls, that's great.
Yep. And I'll tell you something not a lot of people know about Niagara Falls. Two things, actually. One thing that's very cool about Niagara Falls is that if you go to Niagara Falls, like not the city, but the actual falls itself, there is a huge statue dedicated to Nikola Tesla that is of him. And then the other thing that's really cool is that if you go in the wintertime, it's unlike anything you've ever seen before, because the water is like almost emerald green, like, and usually it's blue, but I don't know why in the winter it's like emerald green. And then because there's so much spray and it's so cold, it's creating all these gorgeous ice sculptures all around the fall area. So like, you know, the trees are covered in icicles, and like, it's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. And because nobody's there, it's really quiet and it's nice. I love Niagara Falls in the wintertime. And the other thing about this area that's cool is there's so much history. Like, this is where a lot of the Battle of the War of 1812 was fought, for, you know, the battle between the British and the Americans. The whole Laura Secord thing, I don't know if you know that story, that happened like right in front of my parents' house. Like, there's a Brock monument, one of our oldest printing presses is still here and we can still use it. Like, there's a place called the McFarlane House where you can go have high tea and scones. I love this area for this history.
Nice.
What's going on out there, dear? Oh, it's just a battle, never mind.
So Magic Marmot says taxes are ridiculous, insurance too, and then Aston Martin goes Tesla, the real Tesla.
The real Tesla.
Yeah, the real Tesla. Yes. Well, yeah, we don't like the other Tesla around here very much.
No, we are.
Although,
I am not
you know,
a fan
I
of
don't
this.
know. Like, I mean, what other electric cars are you going to get? It's a Tesla or a Prius. I don't know. There are other things, but they come and go. It's very complicated. But I don't really want to support Tesla, but you know. I mean,
apparently they're good cars, but someone pointed out to me the thing that's interesting is that animals are no longer going to hear us coming, and we might be killing more of them.
Yeah.
In the streets, you know. That doesn't make me happy.
That's sad. Yes, we need. Okay, look, this is a pet side project of mine, Animal Bridges, which
that's a great idea.
Project that anyone can do. So I advocate. I'd like to do a little book of animal bridges and like different animal bridges projects around the world, because it could be very simple. You know, it could just be a little tunnel under your driveway or something like that. You know, you know, up to like, you know, you can have a whole bridge over a freeway or something like that. Or they have like a rope bridge, like a monkey rope bridge in Indonesia. So I forget where that is.
Well, there's tons I've seen where they've done big, huge mounds over, like over highways and stuff, so the animals can go above.
Yeah, that's a cause I can support. I think it's good. And it's an easy thing that you could do. It's like a local project that you could organise and do. But I suppose I should have organised and do one. Right.
Yeah. Put your money where your mouth is.
No ideas.
But maybe someday I'd like to do that. Yeah, that's a sort of side project for.
One of my kind of like, you know, if I had money to put into a social or a public project, would be taking the waste product from marijuana dispensaries and gardens and stuff after they extract the THC out of it for concentrates and things. They have this fibrous material. Here in Colorado, that material has to be mixed with like sand or dirt and then sent to a landfill, right? And it's so wasteful. So my thing would be taking that waste material and then making hempcrete out of it, making bricks and making sound walls around like the Denver metro area, around all of the freeways and stuff. It'd be cheap.
That's funny, because if I had that kind of money, what I discovered was a woman in France, and I swear I've told you this before, where she's discovered how to like disassemble fabric from jeans, like fashion, any, you know, obviously it's got to be organic, and then she's figured out how to disassemble it in a way and then mix it with a glue mixture and then create bricks with it that are like insulated. You can use them for art, but I would want to use them for insulation, because a lot of First Nation reserves in Canada, the buildings are so poorly made, and something like that would be so cheap and efficient to use, because we have so much fabric in landfills even here. I'm totally behind that as well.
What I like about the hempcrete is that it pulls carbanoids out of the air. So carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, and things like that. That's why I think it would be sound walls. Sound walls around freeways would be really good, because it helped cut down on air pollution. over time.
Totally. That's a
And
really good
so-
idea.
Yeah, the hempcrete actually gets heavier over time because it keeps absorbing more carbon because it's very porous on the microscopic scale.
Mhm.
So, they're like
Yeah, I've never heard of
totally
hempcrete.
totally behind fabric. They could go fabricrete, hempcrete, fabricrete, hempcrete, fabricrete, hempcrete.
Yeah.
And it would be an interesting pattern.
Because it's like she also invented the machine that like squeezes all the liquid out of the block and then, makes it like
Yeah.
firm for the form of it. Yeah, it was a really interesting little thing.
Very cool. It looks like
Stupid thing.
Chuck's done with his panel. Are you done with your panel? Are you
Yeah, I
ready
think
for
so.
the
I
next
was
one?
just sort of giving it a little framing here or something.
Yeah, no worries.
Oh.
So
Maybe I'll make some of this black or something.
I want to read what your caption is in just a second. I just want to finish this.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to show you guys something I got that was kind of interesting, but a little sad. Like not like a bad sad, but like just sad.
Yeah.
I work in a retirement home, and it's like run by nuns. And in the recycling area, I found this.
Peanuts Classics.
Oh.
It's an amazing book. I mean, first of all, I don't like Peanuts that much at all, so I don't really want this. But it was like published in the 70s, 1970. And it's huge. Like there's tons of, and they're really, but the thing is it's falling apart, but it's still pretty good. Like I just have to bind the cover back to it because the rest of it's in great condition. And it's huge and there's like full color. Like if I was a Peanuts fan, I'd really want this.
Oh yeah, that looks like a nice collection. Yeah.
It reminds me of like my Charles Adams books. So yeah, I gotta figure out a way. I gotta learn how to bind books, and I'll bind this and get rid of it.
Have you read-
Like the
As
cover's
Martin
kind of
says,
beat up. Like it's not perfect, but there's
It
where's
might-
there's a circle stain somewhere.
Peanuts Classic. What date is it from?
1970.
I'll read comments in a minute. Now, if I had that kind of big metro trillion money, I'd invest in a mass-producing second-person entertainment. I think it would help people find themselves more socially. I almost picked something like that up, Peanuts from this old guy at a flea market. And then Kay says, "Yup, get some hot glue gun on that." And then Aston Martin gives a thumbs up.
Well, I was gonna try and sew it because I know that there's like bookbinding needles and certain thread and stuff. Not just hot glue gun. Like I was gonna do a couple things, but I had to research it first.
Yeah.
So I was like sad that if someone was gonna throw it out. I was like, no.
So Chuck, where I am is they are flying away. So
okay,
what
on the
happens
bees
next?
with
What happens next?
All right,
Can I ask, is that the bagpipes that are surprised to see the killer bees?
No, it's a haggis.
Oh, it's a haggis.
There's a little haggis in there with everybody.
I'm still confused. So what was their answer? They gave them the gold and demanded a ride, but the bees would just take the gold and leave. Why would they give them a ride? If they just said, give us the gold or we'll kill you.
Our crew gets a ride from the killer bees. I don't know, because they have to get out of there. I don't know.
They do, but the bees have no reason to help them at all.
Yeah, I need to do some sort of panel in between to make that make sense.
That's why I kept
They
saying,
hypnotize
don't
the
do
bees.
that. You're writing
The
yourself
haggis-
into a corner.
The haggis plays a magical tune and hypnotizes the bees.
See, perfect.
And like
That's
that,
perfect.
Instead of liking Wu-Tang Clan, now they like Scottish country music.
That's awesome.
I don't know where the haggis came from. The next panel will have to be like, where did that haggis come from?
Where did that haggis
It must have been
come from?
hiding in somebody's sporran.
The little haggis is Aston Martin's favorite Philo character.
So far.
The
Yeah.
haggis is going to take.
Little haggis.
Magic Marmot says that our crew made a counter offer that the bees liked, but we should still then illustrate that. What was the counter offer that they were allowed to jump on them and fly away?
I can still change my caption. So,
No, I'm drawing the haggis playing, hypnotizing the bees with its music.
I think that's pretty funny.
Okay. So the haggis hypnotizes
Then later we
the
can
bees.
explain where the haggis came from, but probably it was hiding in a sporan.
It could be one of Meow's treasures.
They'll crawl up your leg and hide in your sporan.
It could be one of Meow's
like a baby
treasures.
kangaroo.
Yeah.
Let's see, we'll do that.
No, but you don't understand, Magic Marmot. The bees showed up and said, "Give us the gold or we'll kill you." So they're like, "No, we want to ride." And the bees are like, "Screw you. We're going to just take the gold and fly away because we don't have to do anything because we'll kill you."
Let's see. Our crew trades the gold for a ride.
But there's no trading. They don't need to trade. The bees don't need to trade because they're like, "Give us the gold or we'll kill you."
Chuck's the one who added the caption. He can change the caption.
I'm just saying he has. No, but he solved the problem by having the haggis sing a sweet, sweet tune that hypnotizes the bees into doing whatever our crew wants and also changing their musical taste.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
That's a longer caption.
The haggis has a dream to be a professional golfer?
Is he like a new character that I'm gonna have to add to the clip notes?
Yes.
He was hiding in somebody's sporan. They can say, "Where did that haggis come from?" And one of the people wearing a kilt can say, "It must have been hiding in my sporan."
He escaped the suspender and kilt store.
I guess he did. Okay, so our crew gets a ride from the killer bees. So, next is panel 4 for Chuck. If you can name your panel, if you could label it.
So this is panel 3 though now. Is it?
No, I drew panel 3. You're on panel 4.
Okay.
No, but he's showing how they're getting on the bees, so he should be doing 3, I think.
Wait, you went back a panel?
He did, yeah.
Yeah, I was doing a fill-in panel to explain why the killer bees were now being
nice.
Okay, so 4. You're doing a fill-in panel. That means I'm on panel 4. That's perfectly okay. Now I know.
I'm on panel 2B.
And then if you are drawing that panel, then I am picking up where we left off on panel 5.
Oh, there's the doggy. We haven't seen him in so long.
Yeah, he's there. Let's see. Okay, so the haggis hypnotizes them into giving them a ride, and then they fly out of there on a ride from the killer bees. And then what happens?
What if the haggis is the child of the octopus and the bagpipe coupling?
That's an awfully quick gestation period.
Octopus only lived 2 years. Octopus only lived 2 to 3 years. They do quick gestation.
As Aston Martin says, he's stuck being a golf caddy and resents it. My headcanon. And the Magic Marmot says panel 2B. And Aston Martin goes, "Oh," with a heart.
A pretty clever Magic Marmot, panel 2B. And I also really like Bagus the Haggis a lot.
Yes, Bagus the Haggis.
Because he's the child of the bagpipes and the octopus. He's Bagus the Haggis.
Okay, so panel 5 then is after they fly away. So what happens?
I need help. I've come up with a lot of stuff already.
Oh, I know. I'm asking chat. Robin, do you draw? Asked Aston Martin.
I have, but I'm not very good at it, so I don't really draw. I write a lot, and I've actually been published quite a few times.
Yeah, she's been published by the Comics Journal. She's very fancy in her writing.
I read a lot of comics, and I like to talk about comics. But a lot of my writing too can be pretty whimsical. Like when I do reviews and stuff, like I do a lot of alliteration or, Like for one thing I have to say, hi Dale. I've been watching House of Dragons and I'm finding it really like dour and kind of boring. And I started reading recaps, and the guy that's writing the recaps for NPR is flippin' hilarious, and I love how he writes. He was talking about the dragons fighting at one point, and he called it Feast of Cronenberg. You know, David Cronenberg had that movie Crash.
Yeah.
And it's Game of Thrones, so Feast of Crows. I was just like, this guy's good, man. He's clever. So that's the kind of writing I like, where there's like these weird little jokes and one of
the greatest lines I ever read in an article was an Esquire magazine article talking about the Creationist Museum in the South.
Oh yeah, that Noah's Ark thing.
Yeah, that's trying to rewrite history and stuff like that. Anyway, he's describing the fact that they have Jesus riding a dinosaur as one of their displays. And he says, but the saddle is not a Western saddle. It's an English saddle. This is a show dinosaur.
He's there for dressage, okay?
Yeah, and it's like, you know, just the fact that he recognized the fact that it was a saddle.
Jesus side saddle? Was Jesus side saddle?
I don't know. He did not describe how Jesus was sitting. I imagine both legs because that's manly, you know, and that's like what they would want. So, okay. So, Bagus should have vestigial tentacles. I was published in a book of samples of bad writing, says Dale.
I think that's what
they have a Wu-Tang Rollin' Rave, says Magic Marmot. And then, yo, Robin and Amber, I'm snubbing Chuck, snubbity, snub. And then Aston Martin says,
that's Dale.
Kay said, it laughs at that. And then Jesus riding a dinosaur, what is that supposed to be? Methyl Zydek. How that works, I don't know.
What that
seems
is.
Stupid. And
Dale's
then
a menace.
it's for Trek show jumping. T-Rex.
I always loved it when Bill Hicks was talking about religion, and he was just like talking to this Hick about God, and he was like, well, explain dinosaur bones. Oh, well, Jesus put it, or God put those there to test us. And he's just like, what kind of asshole is this God? He's like testing us.
Yeah.
Taking us out with evolution.
No, it's
I'll
interesting.
teach you with your stupid science.
So let's talk about biblical interpretation for a second. All right. So the story of Abraham, where he is going to slice his son Isaac in two. And, and like, oh no, he's going to slice. And God comes out of nowhere like, hey, don't do that. Right. Even though he just told him to do it. So the whole story is about God testing him to see if he would be willing to do everything he's told and just follow it blindly. Hoping that he wouldn't do that he would like question what he heard and go, I really don't want to kill my son. That seems wrong, right? But the thing is Abraham failed the test. And everybody forgets that in the story.
It all starts at the very beginning with Adam and Eve, and it was like, what did she do that pissed everybody off? She ate from the tree of knowledge.
No.
No. Actually, no. She ate from the tree of knowledge of good and evil.
But still, knowledge. Knowledge is power.
The knowledge of the difference between good and evil.
I think that's a valuable lesson to learn. Why wouldn't you want to know about the difference between good and evil?
But have you read the Robert Crumb?
No.
I own it. It's very good.
It's very good, and he's got all his notes in the back are all about how the Abrahamic tradition is sort of very deliberately erasing the earlier Earth Goddess tradition, which is very interesting. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, was it who wrote that book that was all about the female? Who wrote Myths of Avalon? Was that Ursula Le Guin or Mercedes Lackey? You know that book?
Yeah.
It's like the female perspective. Well, it's all the female perspective of the King Arthur tale. Oh, that's who it is. Yeah. It's actually a really good book. And it was the first time that I'd read about how like the Christians were like showed up and the pagans were like, hey, it's cool. We can all live together and have separate religions. And the Christians were like, no, we're going to slaughter you all.
Yeah.
Just because. And then we're going to use some of your own traditions ourselves that we thought were evil. Which doesn't make sense.
So nobody helped me with where the story's going. So they're flying back to the land of Philo.
Okay. Back to the Wallendorfs.
back to the Willendorfs. You know,
Is it Willendorf?
Since we're talking about Earth goddesses and stuff, you know.
Yeah. Shout out to Kate. That was a brilliant idea to bring in the Wallendorfs as an army. I think that's so cool.
Let's see, what's the difference between good and evil? And I always love how the book of Enoch calls it the tree of wisdom, which you can't have wisdom without evil and suffering present. You know, there's 3 different books of Enoch, actually. And Enoch is actually where we get the imagery of the angel and the devil on the shoulder telling us what to do, and we choose to listen to which one. But Enoch was removed from the Bible. It was seen as kind of like, you know, fan fiction at the time.
I can't remember if it's what's her name? It's either Saint Victoria or Saint Alexandria. I think it's Saint Alexandria. But I remember my cousin showing me a painting of her in one of our art like the major art gallery in Canada. It's like Art Gallery of Canada. And she was like the first woman to give herself to God as like the first nun. And apparently she wrote her own series of books for the Bible. Like she was around then as well.
Yeah.
But they totally erased, like they didn't let any of her stuff get published. Like it's not part of the Bible at all.
Yeah. You know, Dan Brown touched on this in his books, you know, the Da Vinci Code and stuff. But there is a whole section of stories in the Dead Sea Scrolls about Jesus getting married to Mary Magdalene and having children.
Oh, wow.
And so, yeah. She was.
Well, I guess they don't want to pass that story around because people are going to start looking for Jesus' children.
Jesus was
exactly.
On.
And again, that's the point of the Da Vinci Code is that they realize that there is a bloodline out there.
Yeah.
And so,
did you guys ever read Preacher? I always thought that was a pretty brilliant take on Jesus' bloodline.
Yeah, I know, but I didn't read it, but I did watch the show when it came up.
Oh no, the show is awful. The show's not the same.
Yeah, you've mentioned that before.
Yeah, okay, so you're telling me the comic was much better than the show because that's the show.
Oh yeah, it's Garth Ennis.
I was expecting a bit more from the show, to be honest.
First of all, I am a nerd. I'm not denying it, but I'm really good at separating like comic from movie, comic from TV show, because I realize they're 2 separate medias and everybody's got their fucking finger in the pie. You know, like Alan Moore's movies are a really good example of that. I can handle it. And sometimes the movie's better. Like I'll tell you, when I saw Scott Pilgrim, I was like, Brian Lee O'Malley, this movie is better than your comics. Like, I'm sorry.
I watched the animated Scott Pilgrim.
Scott Pilgrim, the movie, totally lost the point of the comic. And I
thought it actually explained the ending so much better than the comic did.
But the
did
point
you watch
of the
the animated
comic,
one?
No, not yet.
The comic is that he kind of realizes what a creep he is. And he works to change himself. And in the movie, they just turned it into him winning the girl.
In the comic, it puts another, in the animated one, it puts another level of meta onto it. In that, like in the comic, they're sort of talking about doing the movie, so they sort of always redo it again. And then there's a sort of time travel bit where he's in the future and stuff. So I had to sort of stick with it a bit because I'm not all that up on Scott Pilgrim. By the end of it, I was like, oh no, that was pretty good. And like, you know, from what I read some of the comics. I saw the movie. I sort of like the show, the animated show. I liked it a lot. It sort of kind of brought the comics and the movie and the animated show like all together in a way. It was sort of quite good.
But I had a point, and what was it? Oh, right. So with Preacher, I watched like the first 5 minutes of the TV series because I really, really love the comic. Like I really, really, really love the comic. And the first 5 minutes made me so angry because they bastardized the story so much. They like came at it from such a weird angle, and it changed everything that I loved about it that I literally gave the screen the finger and turned it off. I was like, I swore at the TV. Yeah. And I've never done that before. Like I've never been so stringently anti something like that. But they did, you know, and from that point on, I'll tell you, except for The Boys, I do not watch, well, I guess I watched The Great Pottery Throwdown. Okay, I lie. But I've kind of boycotted Seth Rogen's stuff because I'm so sick of him like having to get his fingers in the pie and just ruining it. But the comic's amazing.
I just saw that movie Easy Money with Paul Dano and Seth Rogen, which I think he produced it, was in it as the sort of evil, well, not evil. He played him quite nice, but the short seller who got screwed over by the GameStop.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that would be a good movie. Actually,
GameStop, the guy that sort of originally got.
Was it a good movie?
I enjoyed it. I'll put it in my category of movies about real business, like
Moneyball.
I really enjoyed the Tetris movie recently. That was really good.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. I read the comic though. They did
out of most of the, there's the McDonald's movie with Michael Keaton. That's really good.
Yeah, that is really good. That one was good.
That's really good. And the Blackberry movie I quite enjoyed. Although the Blackberry one I think was more fictionalized, but it was still a good movie. It was still very good. Yeah. I mean, they're probably all quite good.
The thing is,
was very fun. I really like Tetris one a lot.
He's got a TV series.
Jeremy says hi. There are two endings to the film. Same thing with I Am Legend. There are no cats in the Bible. Google it, then start Googling paintings of the Last Supper. Lost of Renaissance paintings of the Last Supper have a cat in it. And then Aston Martin says hi, Jeremy. Dale says Scott Pilgrim was a breeding pen for future hot actors. Aston Martin says Seth Rogen, and then Dale with a face. And then Dale says the best show about Christianity was Cartoon Network's Your Pretty Face is Going to Hell. It is a modern take on Dante's Inferno.
Oh, that sounds good, yes. Now, Dale surprised me today because he told me, for a guy that his favourite movie is Zardoz, and he's a bit of a menace because he goes around buying up every copy of Zardoz in the neighbourhoods, in the Bay Area.
He's probably the reason why that's where
Zardoz into these shows quite a lot.
You'll know him if you're a retailer of videos. You'll know him as the guy that always buys Zardoz every time he comes in. But you've never seen Barbarella.
What?
Barbarella's so much better than Zardoz. It's kind of the same.
Never seen Barbarella. That's pretty awesome.
How can he be this sort of rabid Zardoz fan and never have thought, oh, maybe I should watch Barbarella as well? To me,
anyways,
I realize Barbarella has the plot of Heart of Darkness. Did you realize that? She's gonna go, she's gonna go find this guy Duran. It's basically that's just some version of Heart of Darkness. Isn't it?
So, what was your point, Robin?
Even that, I don't know if you guys know this, but up in Canada, Seth Rogen has a show, and I would try to boycott him, but I've actually been watching this one. It's called The Great Pottery Showdown, and it's really, really good. Because I started watching it because there's this guy Brendan Tang on it, and he does this pottery where he takes Ming Dynasty sort of vases, and then he couples them with these sort of futuristic Blade Runner bits all over. It reminds me a lot of if Brandon Graham, the cartoonist, did his own pottery of the worlds and cities he creates. So he's one of the judges on the show. And the last episode I saw was all about chessboards, and seriously, the talent in that room is insane. The people, how they chose to express themselves through chess pieces, and they had to do both sides, they weren't the same, you know what I mean? They're just these nobodies from Canada making gorgeous works of art, and it's like a reality TV show, right? So they get better and better.
Yeah, it's Blown Away on Netflix is kind of the same format, and that one's really cool.
Yeah, that's glass blowing, yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess Rogan is actually suddenly into pottery now, so that's how that show came about.
So, but
on our CBC.
Yeah, so we got away from the point that you decided against Seth Rogen now because isn't he?
But you got to read Preacher because Preacher, the comic, is really good. And
okay, so Preacher is what upset you
yeah, but the comic is so good, Dale, and it's so easy to get. Or sorry, not Dale. Sorry, Chuck. So easy to get, Chuck. You can go to the library, Chuck, and get it.
Go together.
No, I did the same thing to Dale last week, didn't I? Where I called him Chuck, or was it the week before?
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
You can call people Chuck though. That's allowed. In England, they go, "Oh, hey, Chuck." That's
buddy. It's like buddy in Canada. Hey, buddy.
So just to let you know,
it's more something they in the Midlands, like Liverpool or somewhere.
Just to let you know what's going on in the comments is Dale says, well, okay, I'll start at the beginning. As Martin says, oh, we're back on Zardoz. Magic Marmot says Dante gave us a lot of the trappings of modern Zitanity. And then Dale says Zardoz is awesome. Aston Martin says, I feel like this whole stream is just trying to sell Zardoz. A Magic Marmot says Barbarella is
German
watchable. Jeremy says, "Oh dear,
Dale's hoarding
Barbarella."
Zardos to
LOL.
drive
Zardos will
Dale's
change your
hoarding
life,
scarce
says Dale.
Zardos resources in order
I've
to
never watched Zardos as Magic
artificially
Marmot.
inflate the price
Pottery.
of Zardos.
Pottery, says Dale. And then Aston Martin says, "I feel dumb. I didn't come up with that one." And then Dale says, "You should. The 3 movies to base your life on are Zardos, Circle of Iron, and Charlie Muffin. Look for Circle of Iron on Tubi and Charlie on YouTube." And then
I've tried watching Charlie Muffin twice now on YouTube, and I can't go for more than like 2 or 3 minutes. And I'm a British person. I mean, this is some mumbly British stuff from the 1970s, and it's so hard to watch. But I'll admit that I have seen reviews that go on about how great this movie is, so it isn't just Dale.
Yeah.
So
I haven't sat down to watch Charlie Muffin yet.
I was gonna say the director of Zardos is my dad. That's why we keep talking about it.
Is that
That is the most appropriate sound clip.
Let's see, Charlie Muffin is awesome. And then I want to watch Janaya, but I can't get a copy on streaming or anything. And then Aston Martin says Christopher Lee playing the founder of Pakistan.
That's interestingly odd.
What movie? Oh,
About 15 minutes until we're done. Do you think you can squeeze out another panel?
me?
Yeah. Okay. So they are back in the land of Philo. What happens after that?
Magic Marmot has all the Preacher in hardcover. He's more hardcore than me. See, that's how good it is. I just have all the trades and all the single. Actually, I'm lying. I had all the single issues when they were coming out, but then when I got all the trades, I was like, why do I have the single issues? Besides, well, I have Glenn Fabry's covers. He's amazing. But I did keep one of the single issues, and it's the one with Tulip's face, because that's my favorite issue. And I got Glenn Fabry to sign it because even though I'm not into signatures, I did interview Glenn Fabry, and I was just like, I might as well get him to sign my favorite Preacher cover.
Oh yeah, Oh, I loved him like so much on the Slain. They've got a new version of Slain, the Horn God, out that looks like very nicely printed. Get that because I read it in the original comics, but it was so sort of dark and muddy that like that sort of newsprint or the print. I mean, they used it at the time, but like now, like when you see
clean and colorful.
Yes. So, all right, but I mean, I don't need to spend that money on a comic I've already read a bunch of times, do I?
It's frustrating, isn't it? Who is it? The Hernandez brothers do that all the time, where they add a few little bit more things, and you're just like, I don't need 15 copies of the same damn comic because you just added a little more things.
Yeah.
Well, yes, a lot of those I read through the library, I think, rather than owning them. I read a lot of stuff at one point through the library. I haven't done much lately, but that's quite good. But San Francisco Library is quite good because you can just say, I want this book, and then they'll get it for you.
Do you know which library impressed the socks off of me? Like that in a city that I actually lived in, not like, because you can go anywhere and be impressed by a library.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's true. It's true. The library system in this country is very good. I've always loved the libraries in the USA. Yeah, one of those things that USA does right. It's good libraries. Well done.
But in Montreal, the library is fantastic. Their main branch, they have like at least half a floor dedicated to comic books. And now, admittedly, 80% of those comic books are French comics, but it's a treasure trove. And then they had a ton of English too, which really blew my mind. Ton of manga. Like the public library, like the main branch in Montreal, chef's kiss when it comes to comics.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's awesome.
I was like half the time, like I would go over there, like I stuck to the English because I had this rule. It's like, if I start looking at all the French comics, I'm going to have no money left because I'll want everything, but I won't be able to understand half of it. So like, I've got to draw the line somewhere. But every so often, I'd sneak over there and I'd just be like, "Oh my god, it's so good."
Wait, Robin. Somebody's got to tell me what I'm drawing in this final panel.
Yes, we've gone off topic. So they've returned back to the land of Philo. Then what?
Well, what have you drawn? You just drawn them arriving?
I just did them arriving. So
that's it. So this is the end.
Is
that the end of the story? And they all lived happily ever after.
The end. There's all the beavers. We're done. There's no end, Chuck. It never ends.
No, like what happens? Like, are they put on trial for all their like shenanigans. Like they were put in an oubliette.
Yeah, they were in trouble when they left.
Yeah, so
maybe we should ask Kay. This was her planet's idea.
Yeah. Don't ask me. I've got no idea what's going on. I'm just drawing what I'm told.
Jeremy, they have
Amber's doing a
lawyers.
massive crowd scene.
They had lawyers. They had lawyers for the Kaiju Council. They had lawyers. We already did lawyers.
Let's see. So,
only got 7 minutes.
well, the Kaiju Council, are they going to come back?
Oh yeah, the Kaiju Council come back. All right, that's
all right.
panel.
So there's a trial in the land of Philo.
Yeah. Okay.
And so we'll say that the Kaiju Council arrives, and that's your panel. Is the Kaiju Council arrives?
I think we should put the Kaiju Council suddenly appear.
Yeah, and Dale says they unite against the common foe, Colin
Kaepernick.
Yeah, did you hear about him wanting to start an AI comic company? That's bullshit.
Yeah, he went from
I
hero
know.
to
I was
hero
like,
very
people were
fast,
posting
didn't he?
pictures of him at San Diego Comic-Con, and I'm like, why is he at San Diego Comic-Con? And then they explained why, and I was like,
Right, but before we go jumping madly on the bandwagon, what is it he's actually trying to do? That seems
he
a
wants
bit
to
vague.
create a comic book company where the majority of the work is done by AI. He says so that it can free up the other people to be creative and come up with the ideas. He's using his money wisely, he feels.
So people can come up with ideas for comics and get an AI.
I think
to
he
make.
got used to the publicity. That's a bad faith move with AI. Yeah.
Okay. Good luck with that. It's probably just a scam to raise some money. I mean, I don't know. I mean, are you people going to be able to make a good comic that way? You're going to be able to make the same comic as everybody else that uses that. I mean, I've seen the AI. I mean, who's interested in a lot of shitty Spider-Man art? Nobody's really interested.
Okay. The Kaiju Council arrives. That is your panel.
Guys, suddenly arrive.
Yes, you have 10 minutes because we've been talking for 5.
Okay. Anyway.
Yes. Let's see. They unite against the common foe. I think he got used to the publicity. It's very sad. I wish Kaepernick would reverse course on that decision. Everyone freezes in fear because the health patrol breaks in with a warrant and orders everyone for a prospect. Come on, Dale. What is your obsession with butts?
Soup, butts. That's a lot of stuff happening in this comic over the last month or so.
Yeah. What's your obsession with butts, Dale?
There was the naked butt boogie. There was there was the poop in the porta potties powering things. Although I don't know if he was there for that.
I'm a butt man myself, but give it up.
All right, well, fortunately the show's nearly over.
And I think that with the introduction of the Kaiju Council, we should be introducing a health patrol.
Who's actually in the Kaiju Council, by the way?
Like Mothra and Godzilla. I forget them all. Because I'm not good with monster names.
Godzilla is the prosecution. The Kaiju Council is Mothra, King Kong, and Gamera.
I like King Ghidorah.
Slatter from the Pacific Rim movies is the bailiff. And then the Rodans were the ones that put Philo in the rocket ship from Planet Kaiju. When we did the flashback.
I forgot about that flashback. I forgot about that flashback.
So that's why I think we should start thinking about maybe wrapping up the first story of Philo. And I think the Kaiju Council coming, and then we get a dramatic scene of like everything's together and Meow's there and the Kaiju Council's there and it's in the land of Philo. And maybe at the end they get pasta. We don't know. Because that's where we started. Is they still haven't eaten.
I wasn't aware that this was ever going to end. I thought it was just like one non-stop story.
Yeah,
I don't know. It feels like it's coming to an end, though.
Okay, yeah, well, I'm not arguing. I'm just saying.
And then we can start the next story for Philo, which would be fun because then we just start randomly and we don't know if we're gonna have the same crew of characters or not. Probably.
Well, one of the things you wanted to do that we didn't talk about, or that we didn't do, is you wanted to focus more on Philo and Brutus's relationship.
Yeah, we haven't done that yet.
Wait, how many heads does Gamera have?
Gamera does not have multiple heads. Gamera is a giant turtle.
Oh no, yeah, that's the giant turtle. Which is the one with the multiple heads? King Ghidorah.
That's the Hydra.
Yeah. Well, how many heads has that one got?
I love King Ghidorah.
I think like 4 or 5. But I imagine the kaiju.
Do you want to know why I like King Ghidorah?
Change kaiju.
Do you want to know why I like King Ghidorah?
Oh, Dale says 3 heads.
3?
Because
okay, the extra head. Right,
King.
3.
Yeah, and then Dale says Ian and I know what sells. Godzilla should be a hoax kaiju for regular prostate and reticular self checks. And then Magic Marmot says 7, and then Dale says 3.
7? I just erased
3.
one. Oh yeah, Gamera is the turtle. Yes, I know about that.
Yeah, there's only 7 minutes. There's not enough time for me to draw another panel. I got no cat and cat cam, so I can't put that up. You know, cat's left. And then 7 says Magic Marmot, and then 2 if he has a metal one. Yeah, so the Kaiju Council suddenly appears.
All right, so the reason why I love King Ghidorah is because it's actually an album that is secretly done by MF Doom and MF Grimm, and it's and they have samples from all the Ghidorah movies, so it's really cool. It's a really good album.
Do you know what made Godzilla's signature scream?
Scream? What do you mean signature scream? Like they painted it?
No, scream.
Oh, scream.
Like,
scream. I think you've told us this before. Please tell us again because I don't remember.
Yeah. So it was a rubber glove with pine tar on it.
Oh no, I didn't
run up and down an electric guitar.
Wow, no, I did not know that.
And that is what makes Godzilla's scream.
That's pretty clever.
Yeah. And then 4 of them are hidden. That sounds cool. A lion roar, a space with a glove, right? And then wow, says Dale. And then
hey, do you want to get a cookie because I stayed up the whole time? I'm just kidding. I
would have to
mail you. 6 minutes to fall asleep.
I would have to mail you a cookie.
No, that's okay. I'm just teasing.
Where are they? They're out in the fields, are they?
No, they're in a courthouse.
They're in a courthouse?
Well, I kind of had the
yeah, you had them in a field. You're right.
O-shaped castle in the back. I don't know if that's where we're headed. And then
wasn't the last trial in the O-shaped castle?
Let's see. It makes sense. The special effects team uses practical effects, and you can have 2 cookies. Says Magic Marmot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the kaiju have grown quite large, actually. If they're all small down there.
Yeah, that's the tall lady.
Yeah.
She's the big one, and there's the bears.
And then Robin says, or Dale says, Robin deserves a cookie. Do you have cookies in Canada? And then, yeah, it wasn't a guitar. It was a contrabass. Okay, it was a contrabass.
I don't know what the difference is.
Down the scene, the
is a contrabass like a regular bass guitar?
I think it's a stand-up bass, maybe.
Oh, okay, a stand-up bass.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see. Damn, now I want a cookie. I got ice cream in there. I have raspberry chocolate ice cream in there.
Right. Yeah. You could put that in a cookie. It'd be pretty good.
Yeah. But then I would have to make cookies. I think I have stuff to make cookies. I just have to actually make them. And then, yeah, more like orchestra stand-up bass, says Aston Martin, talking about the Godzilla scream. And so, yeah, I think pretty good show. They have gold now. And they
didn't give it all to the bees. So maybe they should.
Maybe
they try to bribe someone on the Kaiju Council, and it finally gets them thrown in jail. And the next story is about them trying to get out of jail.
Well, it maybe, I don't know. We'll pick it up next time. I'm not going to draw another panel because I only have 4 minutes.
No, I was just talking about in the future. I wasn't talking about now.
Oh yeah. But yeah, so we have the Kaiju Council suddenly appear, and we come to judge you. And yeah, I like your Mothra, by the way, Chuck. It's a very nice Mothra. I'm happy for that. And then Magic Marmot says it's like a regular base, but you have to play it up, down, left, right, BA. And then Aston Martin says Philo, the anthology that's not an anthology. And then Aston Martin also says, I thought of that one. Yeah. Up, down, left, right. A start.
AB.
Yeah. AB. The Konami code. Yeah. Good times. Yeah, I've been playing a new video game called well, it's not a new video game, it's been out for a while, but it's called Fights in Tight Spaces. And card-based moves, and you unlock more cards the more you play, and you take on the mob and ninjas. It's a fun game.
You do fight in tight spaces?
Yes, you fight in tight spaces. And so like one of your cards may be like a front kick, right? And the guy may attack you if you attack him automatically. So the front kick pushes it, and so he can't attack you. So you have to like figure out which cards to use to fight in the tight space. Yes. And so
very interesting.
Not enough butts in this episode, says Dale.
Hey, there's 3 of us and we have butts. Just because you can't see them doesn't mean they're not there.
I did have cat butt for a while on screen. So there was a butt in the episode.
And toe butt.
Yeah.
Toe bean butt.
Yeah, I just and with the Willendorfs, I basically just drew one Willendorf and then copied and pasted and copied and pasted and copied and pasted.
All right. Well,
by the way, Robin, where can I find your articles?
Yeah.
I really appreciate your knowledge on comic history, says Aston Martin. So do you have a website?
No, not anymore. I used to. I've really got to get off my duff because I've got a ton of interviews that should be on air.
Yeah.
But no, what I was going to say is if you just Google the Comics Journal and Robin Fisher, it should pull up the articles.
Yeah, and you'll see the spelling of her name at the end of the show. I say we're at a good stopping point. The Kaiju Council suddenly appears, and they're going to judge him. And yeah, it was a good show. It is 8:29 my time, which would be 7:29 your time, Chuck. And so I'm going to end a minute early. Dale says Canadian.
Which is 10:29 my time.
Since they are metric. And then Magic Marmot says Robin had butter chicken. Does that count? And then Aston Martin says, oh, okay, found it. And then thanks.
Like 3 articles.
So, okay, so I am going to end it here. Let me close up our art screens and let me put us all up. And I want to say thank you so much for coming in. Chuck, thank you for drawing with us for the last minute. You know, at the last minute.
T-shirt.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's his.
You can get that in my Redbubble shop, earthspace.com.
Nice.
And
wait. I have a thing. Caption. Okay, where is it? Today's cartoonist is Whelon. There. See, proper spelling of Earthspace. And so thank you.
Find me at Earthspace on Instagram or earthspace.com. And you can find all my things like my webcomic Philo that I'm rerunning on Instagram too.
Yeah.
And my Redbubble shop where you can get T-shirts from my Earthspace series, and then there's some of my game art and stuff like that I've done.
He does a lot of game art for Goodman Games, which is fantastic. And so, Chuck, thank you so much for coming on the show. I appreciate it. Thank you for being my last minute artist. And then, Miss Robin, my better half. I want to thank you again for knowing so much about comics and Preacher and kaiju and stuff. And we will I'll see you again next week. And then for everybody at home, thank you so much for tuning in with us and making sure that stuff's going good with Philo. So I'll see you guys in the future. Have a great one. Bye.